This project is an intuitive drawing project. It's fast-paced, it's run with music that actually establishes the pace. You can't go faster than the pace, you can't go slower than the music. I give people a set of instructions as they go along. It's almost like a palimpsest or a tapestry. They build on what they've been working on, and it develops and develops in a very, very spontaneous way. It's hard for a lot of students to get into it, first of all, because they haven't had this kind of all-in expressive experience before. And I like to have them really embrace the paper. So the paper is very large, and I want them to fall into the paper as they work in it. They don't see the paper as paper then, they see it as a window into this expression. It takes some time, it just doesn't, you know, work very comfortably with them, first of all, but as they get into it, I think they get very excited about it. And they extend themselves way beyond what they thought their boundaries would be. It's a terrific creative release as well. And I know that people who don't work this way will go back to their way of working. But I hope they'll take some of this with them. You know. The music in the background I've accrued over like 15 years. I always start off with a classical violinist playing Jimi Hendrix. They don't know it's Jimi Hendrix until it starts bleeding through, but it's done at a furious pace, and that means that they have to get involved almost immediately. I'm like a ringmaster, I suppose, because I keep shouting the odds and keeping the pace up and being a little bit of a bully, I guess, when in the first instance. And I start off with these sets of instructions, which are formal instructions about the picture plane. You know, how deep is the picture plane? Can you put your arm into the picture? You know, is it going on for miles? How do you develop a light source in these conditions? And so we work on a lot of formal things first of all, and then we turn it into emotive things about themselves personally. So they have to tell, for instance, they have to represent in their picture their greatest secret, the secret that they wouldn't tell anyone. But of course, if people can recognize it, once they've put it in there, it's not a secret. So these are tricky little questions, basically. And we develop it from there. And gradually, I ease off the instructions, and they take it over. That's the whole point. It's very, very structured, but eventually the student takes it over for their own. Otherwise, it gets too mechanical. The important thing is that I don't critique them. I let them critique themselves. So regularly, I'm breaking them up into groups, and they take their group around to their particular drawings, and they critique them. People come with their own creative baggage, and also they have been working in a certain way. And I'm like a bull in a china shop coming in asking them to do something which is probably opposite to what they're thinking of. And they tend to, what I want them to do is to break down into a pure intuitive response, but they want to always polish what they're doing. They always want to protect their area and show off their particular skills in a particular area. But we get rid of that pretty quickly. You know, they can go back to that when they finish. But we break it down pretty quickly. And as I said, it's broken down with speed and intensity and quite short exercises. So there's a time limit to these exercises. But the exercises aren't individual things, they build in on something. And it all goes into the pot, as it were. The witches brew, and then they take it over.